Gentlemen, let me ask you a hard question. Have you ever poured your energy, time, and heart into a woman only to feel invisible, disrespected, ignored like last week's news? If that's you, congratulations. You're not weak, you're awake. And today, I'm handing you the psychological toolset I call the Twilight Effect. It's not magic, it's mystery, it's silence, it's power, and it's time you started using it. If a woman doesn't respect you, it's often not because she's cruel or playing games. It's because something in your behavior, energy, or presence signaled to her that you don't truly respect yourself. Respect is not something you can ask for or convince someone to give you. It's an automatic response people have to strength, boundaries, and self-worth. That means if a woman disrespects you, talks down to you, ignores you, mocks you, or takes you for granted, it's not always her fault. It's a mirror. Somewhere along the way, you may have allowed that treatment by showing neediness, over-availability, or a lack of personal direction. The truth is, attraction and respect are linked. If she loses respect, attraction follows. You could be the kindest, most generous man, but if you're constantly putting her on a pedestal, letting her cross your boundaries, or chasing her when she pulls away, she'll instinctively sense you don't value yourself. And when you don't value yourself, why should she? Men who command respect don't chase it. They don't argue for it. They live in a way that makes it impossible to ignore. This includes being comfortable walking away from situations that don't serve them. It means having a backbone, setting boundaries, and being guided by values rather than emotions. When a woman sees that in a man, she doesn't have to be told to respect him. She just does. So instead of asking, "Why doesn't she respect me?" start asking, "What part of me allowed that?" From there, shift your focus inward. Start creating the version of yourself that you would respect. Because when you live with inner strength, respect from others becomes a natural consequence, not a constant pursuit. The Twilight Effect is a mindset and strategy that involves creating just enough distance and uncertainty to shift the emotional dynamics in your favor. Think about twilight, the time of day when light fades and night begins. It's not bright and clear, but it's not total darkness either. It creates a mood, a sense of mystery, a pause. That's exactly what you need to replicate when a woman no longer respects you. Pulling back, not out of anger but out of quiet confidence, creates a psychological space where she starts to wonder what's going on. That curiosity can be more powerful than any words or actions. When you're always available, always texting, always proving your worth, you become predictable, and predictability kills emotional tension. But when you pull back, stop explaining, stop reaching out, stop making her the center of your world, you shift the energy. Suddenly, she's not sure where you stand. That subtle uncertainty, that emotional twilight, creates intrigue. She starts thinking about you, wondering why you went quiet, doubting her assumptions. And that's where power begins to return to you. This isn't about playing games or manipulating someone's feelings. It's about restoring balance. If she's been taking your presence for granted, the only way to reset the equation is through absence. The right kind of absence. Calm, intentional, and dignified. You're not sulking. You're simply stepping back to let her feel your value through your silence. That's where the Twilight Effect works best, when your absence speaks louder than your presence ever did. It's not about making her chase you. It's about reminding her that you're a man who doesn't beg for respect. You let people feel the cost of losing you. And that's when they start to look at you differently. Maybe even with the respect that was missing before. One of the biggest mistakes men make when they feel disrespected by a woman is trying to talk their way back into her good graces. They over-explain, justify, or argue in hopes that if she just understood them better, she'd change how she treats them. But here's the truth. Explaining too much is often a sign of insecurity, not strength. The more you talk about why you deserve respect, the more you prove that you don't fully believe it yourself. Respect isn't won through discussion. It's earned through presence, boundaries, and quiet confidence. When a woman senses that you're constantly trying to prove your worth with words, she stops feeling your value. She sees a man who's emotionally dependent on her approval, and nothing drains attraction faster than that. Instead of over-explaining, a high-value man simply withdraws when he's not being treated right. He doesn't argue, he doesn't chase, and he doesn't beg for clarity. He lets his actions do the talking. He removes his attention, his time, and his energy. That silence speaks louder than any monologue ever could. It's important to understand that emotional restraint is power. When you resist the urge to react or explain, you create a sense of mystery and control. She starts to question what changed. Why did you go silent? Why did the dynamic shift? That quiet space you create allows her to actually feel the difference in how you carry yourself. And in that space, if she still values you, she'll begin to reassess how she's been treating you. So next time disrespect shows up, resist the urge to talk your way out of it. Instead, show her what it looks like when a man with self-respect walks away from anything that doesn't align with his standards. Let your silence do what your words never could. Emotional indifference is one of the most powerful traits a man can develop when dealing with disrespect, especially in dating or relationships. It doesn't mean you stop caring about people altogether. It means you stop letting their opinions and actions control your emotions. When a woman no longer respects you, reacting with anger, sadness, or desperation only confirms that she has emotional power over you. But when you respond with calm indifference, you instantly shift the dynamic. You show that your value doesn't depend on her approval or attention. Most men have been conditioned to believe that proving their love, loyalty, or patience will eventually win her over. But chasing someone who's pulling away only destroys your presence and weakens your frame. Emotional indifference is the opposite of that. It's the ability to stay composed, unbothered, and grounded, no matter what she does. Whether she ignores your message, flirts with someone else, or criticizes you, your energy stays the same. This quiet confidence is deeply attractive and deeply unsettling to someone who's used to having control over your reactions. The truth is, when you stop needing a specific outcome from a woman, you become free. You're no longer trying to manage her emotions or manipulate the situation. You accept reality for what it is and act accordingly. That doesn't mean you tolerate bad behavior. It means you no longer give it the power to disturb your peace. When she sees that you won't fight for her attention or lose yourself trying to win her back, she starts to feel the weight of your absence. That's when respect can return. Not because you demanded it, but because you embodied it. Emotional indifference isn't about caring less. It's about caring more about yourself than about someone who stopped valuing you. When you step back from someone who disrespected you, the next move isn't to wait around hoping they notice. It's to quietly upgrade your life in every area. This is the heart of reclaiming your power. Most men make the mistake of trying to show their progress to others, especially the woman who stopped respecting them. They post gym selfies, drop hints, or try to spark jealousy through social media. But the truth is, if you have to announce your growth, it's not real yet. Real evolution is silent. It happens behind closed doors, without needing validation or applause. The most effective transformation is the one no one sees coming. While she thinks you're sulking or staying the same, you're building, you're working out, improving your finances, sharpening your skills, learning discipline, and reconnecting with your mission. You're becoming stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. Not to win her back, but because you finally decided to value yourself. That kind of self-respect is magnetic, and it becomes undeniable the moment she sees you again, confident, composed, and completely detached from her validation. This process isn't about revenge. It's about shifting your focus inward, where it always should have been. When your attention turns toward becoming the best version of yourself, people naturally start paying attention. The woman who once disrespected you may start to feel the change. She'll sense that something's different, that you're no longer waiting, hoping, or chasing, and that feeling of being left behind by a man who silently evolved is powerful. Growth doesn't need a spotlight. It just needs consistency and purpose. So upgrade your life in silence. Let your results speak when the time is right. Because when the world sees you again, it shouldn't recognize the man who once tolerated disrespect. It should see the man who outgrew it. When the Twilight Effect begins to work, there's a chance the woman who once disrespected you might come back. Maybe she starts texting again. Maybe she's suddenly interested in what you're doing. Maybe she even apologizes or hints at wanting to reconnect. This moment can feel like a win, but it's also where many men slip back into old patterns. They get excited, let their guard down, and rush to re-establish the connection without realizing that real change hasn't happened yet. That's a mistake. If she returns, it should never be to the same version of you she once took for granted. The man she disrespected before no longer exists. You've evolved, mentally, emotionally, physically. You've built standards, boundaries, and a life that's no longer centered around her. So if she wants access to you again, she needs to meet the new standard. That means no more tolerating breadcrumbs, disrespect, or half-effort. She must now invest in the connection, show consistency, and respect your time and energy. This isn't about holding a grudge or playing hard to get. It's about protecting what you've built. You went through the process of detaching, growing, and finding peace without her. That's not something you should give up easily. If she senses that nothing has changed, she'll fall back into old behaviors. But if she feels that you're no longer emotionally dependent on her, she'll either rise to meet you or walk away, knowing she can't manipulate you anymore. The real test isn't whether she comes back. It's whether you've truly become the man who won't settle for anything less than mutual respect. Reconnection is only valuable if it happens on your terms, aligned with your new self. Otherwise, it's just a repeat of the past, dressed in new words. Men, the Twilight Effect is not a trick. It's a reminder. When people stop respecting your light, you don't dim it. You step into the shadows and evolve. Disrespect isn't the end. It's a signal, not to fight harder, but to walk away smarter. Be the man who doesn't demand respect. He commands it. And that is the power of Twilight.